Hello. So we are going to be working on the game jam game. This may be a shorter. This may be a shorter stream than normal, just because I am. I mean, no excuses, right? I know I don't want to do the stream, but I should. It is my responsibility. It's ultimately my goal and what I want to do. I'm just not feeling 100% up to it. And I also did not eat. So I ordered food, and I'm gonna get the food later. And we'll see where we're at with the stream. Maybe we'll cut it off at that point, but we'll see. I am looking specifically for here. Okay, so we'll get into it. So first things first, number one, what you gotta know is we've come a long way from the original iteration of this. How do we come such a long way in such a short period of time? Well, it's relatively easy. Lack of food, no good. Yeah. how do you know? Yeah, lack of food is no good. So, and maybe a shorter stream because I am so hungry and frankly exhausted. It was a good day. Just my kiddo can be a handful, and they have no patience. But yeah, we've come a long way in that short period of time. You may be asking, how did you come such a long way in such a short period of time? Well, number one, I did already stream today. I streamed earlier during like work hours on my lunch. It was about an hour, so I streamed then. And then that's when we did a lot of the mock-up level. We also took the player controller, because this is a game jam and we're fixed on time. So we took the player controller from Brakeys tutorial and we implemented that. So if it'll let me, okay, there we go. I just have to expand it, but this is what we have thus far. Obviously just gray boxing out the level, but we'll work on it and add other stuff. And I'm also going to decrease the scale of the player, so that way it's a bit smaller. What the heck? Oh, collision is wonky as hell. Camera clipping out the wazoo. Oof! Wow, it's rough. It's rough. But what we're gonna do first and foremost is and I wonder if I could just do this like this. Not snap. I want to try to, because I have them all together in what is called the CSG combiner, because what I did for the gray boxing is the CSG box, and the reason I did that is, again, largely because of the tutorial shown on Brakeys' channel, his YouTube channel. He showed that the using a CS box allows us to be able to import it over to Blender for editing and making it all look nice. So this is going to be the original with gray boxing, and then we'll make it look nice, likely in Blender, and apply textures to all this stuff. Right now, what I want to do is, and I'm wondering if it'll let me do this. I don't know if it will. Let's see. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. Okay, it's making it super big. May take up most of the space that I have allocated for that, but that's okay. I watched a 3D video last night, long video. I forgot how much more complex. Yeah, and that's an understatement of the year. When I was going through the Brakeys video, I was so surprised by how many different, like I was like, well, I've been doing game development for a couple of years now. I got it. But you really, just adding a Z or a Z axis changes the whole game. In regards to lighting, in regards to angles, in regards to collision, like there's so many different things that it's like, it does not work. 2D is much simpler for a reason. And I love 2D games. I've made primarily 2D games. But again, I needed to challenge myself with 3D. And yeah, it is complex. Surprisingly so, truly. Surprisingly complex. I did not, again, I understated. I I was like, oh, it'll be easy, blah blah blah, and that's why I just took the character controller from Brakeys tutorial, because I was like, or not tutorial, his video, because I was just like, well, A, it's a game jam, so I'm not going to spend the time to learn it, and B, essentially what I was going to do anyway was go to the Godot documentation, take their code and apply it to mine anyway. So now I have this, and then I'll be able to edit it as needed. I edited it already a little earlier, as I mentioned in the first stream I did today, but that was that. Modeling is what throws me, both with a world and character. Yeah, and that's not something I ever got heavily into, but just for sake of resource. I'm not sure if you've heard, Noel, of Mixamo. I hope I'm spelling that right. Yeah, Mixamo. Mixamo is what I've constantly used for projects for character animations. I've never modeled or rigged something myself before. I always grab either a character that they supply here or a character in the there's characters everywhere, but I'm gonna take just off principle. I'm gonna take this woman, and then again, it's super easy. You can just import characters as well, super easy. And then after deciding the character that you want, you just find an animation like this capybara animation, and then you can change certain things within it. And then once you're done, you can download it. Oh, that's new. You didn't need to sign in before. But yeah, so that way, whenever you need something, it's like, okay, well, I'll just take out these models already exist, and if I even want to go low poly and just reskin it later, I can just use one of these. But yeah, this is what I've used constantly, and I even in 2D games I've used this. And how I've used it is I'll use, I don't think I have a living game example. Let me see. Because again, I took away so many games because they were just not, yeah, now I don't have a living game example. But what I would do is I would take the animation and then I would just import it over and go frame by frame, like kind of like that, and then I would just draw it out or trace over it to do the 2D. That way I can edit the model and then also edit the animation as I want, like that. And then again, it would import it over to like a sprite and just draw over top of it. Yeah, not sure you're very enough to, and I fully respect that. Yeah, again, I just was like, let me challenge myself and do something I rarely ever do and utilize 3D. Because what's the point of... I mean, I'm obviously challenged constantly with game development. It's not like I'm good at game development that I could be like, I need a challenge. Like, no, I'm not good enough to say that. But if I'm not... If I, do something that scares you. That whole mindset. Because you don't grow in comfort. So let me make this even smaller. Let's say 0.1. Yeah. Try and start this over. See what we got. Oops. Whoa. I'm gonna have to fix this because collision on it is oh right, I forgot. I can only use the arrows. Yeah, I think this will work. Hopefully, I gotta differentiate the colors, but the main thing is that we have the character moving and jumping. We just need to, and I think I wrote this out. Give me a second. Wrote it out somewhere. Okay, so today I need to finish the movement, which it's kind of there. I need to finish the movement. I need to, and then I need to add the sucking in for the can, and then I also need to add, I need to add sucking in for the can, and then I also need to add, what's it called? Shooting it out. But let me just really quick edit the model here. And the reason I want to do that is because A, it's like a fun thing to do. Why is this like this? Why am I so far away? I don't like that. What the fuck is... Why? Why am I so far away? To zoom further, change the view settings. View settings. I don't know. Just make this 170. And then near, make that even closer. So 0.05, 1. Try that. Oh, whoa. Nope. Nah, not the direction I want to go. 0.5, I think is what we had before. No. Uh-oh. Alright, I forgot what the original value was. Does it say it in the debug? No? Sometimes it'll show the values that I changed. But I don't know if that was a setting I had in a different project. I think that was. Alright, well, change this to 0.2. Right, I keep forgetting cleaning this freaking keyboard every day. I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and I always forget. Whoa, trippy though. Not at all what we want, but super trippy. Alright, so we're going in the opposite direction of what we want. So I went with a bigger number that made it worse. So let me just test out that theory by going to 55. Yeah. Trippy. Let's change this then to, I don't know, 1.5. Go from there. Okay, I don't remember what the original value was for view. And it won't let me revert it. I wish it would show it in real time. But essentially, that is the direction I want to go. Let's try 0.005. 0.005. God. Okay, I'm doing it the hard way. Godot view default settings.
R2 guard pet.
Okay. I wish I would have remembered what the original values were. Can I add another 0 here? Enter? No. So maybe it's not the view that's it off, it's this. Because I added a 100, so maybe it should just be 70. There we go. There we go. That is exactly what we wanted. Okay, cool. And literally exactly what we wanted. Right. Alrighty then. Let's quickly give a gander. Okay, cool. Everything still works the way it should. Camera can move and everything. Yeah, camera can move. Alright, so we're good there. We're good there. Quick gray boxing, we're good there. The empty can. The empty can needs to be empty. So what I'll do here is add a, I don't know if it's gonna work that way actually. I don't know if it's gonna work that way. I think we're ultimately just gonna have to apply a texture. So we'll avoid that. What we'll do is now work on the suck up and shoot mechanic, that Kirby-esque, Yoshi-esque mechanic. To do so, let's first of all simplify our scene here, so that way it's not so sloppy. Save that, and now I'm going to add to the world, or level, I'm going to add an object that we can mess around with. So that's going to be a mesh. This mesh instance is going to be, I'm just going to call it for the sake of simplicity, test1. And then where's test1? It's over here. And then test1 is blank now, currently, obviously. So we need to give it a shape. We're going to define this shape as, let's say, a spear. That spear is gigantic. Why the fuck is the default for it to be gigantic? That's such a weird. Oh no, it's not gigantic. It's I forgot that this is a can, and obviously a can's gonna be pretty small to a ball. So never mind. I take that back. But for our purposes of sucking, a can sucking something in and then shooting it out, a can of nothing sucking something in. Can of nothing. It should almost be like a crack of a soda can in reverse. But that's sound design. We don't need to worry about that. We're focused on the mechanic right now. And we, again, today, hopefully in this stream, we need to finish the sucking in and shooting. So we'll work on sucking in first because that sounds simpler. So let's just reduce the scale of this mesh. I said reduce the scale. What is scale on this? What's the hotkey for scale? R? That makes no sense to me. Alright, anyway. Should be S. Transform, snap to the floor. Obviously this is going to have no collision right now, so we have to add a collision shape to it. And we also need to define it as a type of body. This is going to be a rigid body because we're going to be applying physics to it. And that rigid body now needs a collision shape. That's the little thing, the little problem it has. I'm wondering if I can. No, I can't. I was hoping I could just automatically. Oh, maybe this one can? Yeah. That's a super cool feature of Godot with a lot of meshes. I would say most meshes, unless they're like super complex, you can click the mesh button on the top and then create a collision shape, and then it'll just do it for you. We don't need a tri-mesh. That sounds overly complex. We're going to do a single convex, and then we're good there. Alright, and then we see those little lines there. Let me toggle this off so you can see it. Ooh, trippy. Very sci-fi. Sorry, I was just realizing that is nice. Yeah, it is nice. It's super handy feature. What's wrong with the collision shape? Oh, there you go. Wait, there you go. No. Okay. What's your issue? This no shape is okay. So collision shape here. Boom. You're still saying you have no shape? You do. Oh wait. Oh, as a child. My bad. This is why you read. There you go. A lot of points. I wonder how that impacts performance. Yeah, and it very well could. I thought a singular what is it called? A single convex would be the simplest, but maybe a tri-mesh is simpler? Let me see. Take away this collision shape for the time being. Do that. Well, I guess they're both pretty simple. I doubt it will mean much in a small game. Exactly, yeah. Okay, alright, so what's your issue now? When used, a collision convex polygon is intended for static bodies, like a static body. It will likely not behave well for a rigid body 2D. Okay, well, fine. Since that won't behave well, we'll add a different one. And let's go with the original that I had, the singular, because I don't think I had an issue with that one. Yeah, I did not. Okay. Alright, cool. Now you're a can, so you should actually be... Actually, I'm going to take away the collision shape, my bad. Because obviously, I should define the shape first, and then add the thing. So, right, because it's like R, right? Yeah, it's a stupid thing. A can. Now, I had a scene that I wanted to model this off of. Where's that scene? Nope, not here. No. No. Huh. I don't see it. That's interesting. Sorry. Alright, whatever. I know I did it, so it has to be here somewhere. College, dorm room, and then I'm gonna click whatever I had that's purple. Nothing's purple. Oh, well, that's because I'm on an anonymous browser. I think it was this one? Nope. Oh, no. So it should still save it. What was it? What did I say? 3D? There it is. There's the one. Cool. Now, this is what we're working with. Okay. Now, in this room, if I can position it well enough, we're gonna be a can, so we're gonna be pretty small. So I'm just trying to get on the same scale here to kind of get a feel for what we're gonna be doing ultimately. Okay. Now, as a can, can I just import this scene? Is that possible, actually? I can! Of course I need to log in. Can't just let me do something. Oh, it's a black creator too. That's awesome. Alright, let me sign in off screen. Bum 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 bum. Okay, now I'm signed in. Come on now. College, dorm room 3D. Here. Download. Okay. And now FBX sounds right, so I'm gonna go with that one. Dorm room download. Okay. Extract it. If it'll let me. It's weird. Alright, anyway, I'm not going to be too concerned about that. I'm pretty sure it's this. So we're going import this because I was like, oh, I don't need to model this all out perfectly. If I can just work with this already established scene, then I'm set. Again, this is a game jam. The idea is to finish this. Okay, I created a new world. For a second, I thought I deleted everything. I mean, it would have been Control Z. It would have been fine, but anyway. Import. That's export. Where's import? I don't know where import is. So this is what we're gonna do for the time being. This not visible. I don't care about it. Bring this over. Oh, okay, that's why. Just kept opening like that because I was like, why can't I extract this? For a second, I was like, did somebody cleverly nest malware? That was my initial feeling. Like, that's crazy clever. Also, I'm an idiot for not verifying it. But I was like, well, it's an official site and everything. Anyway. We don't need the textures per se. Maybe we'll apply the textures later, but we're gonna just import this bad boy. Why is that giving me so many errors? Okay, first and foremost, how did we import this? Because oh right, it doesn't have textures, which is fine. But okay. And these are all made of meshes. Okay, which makes sense. Okay, cool. We don't need the animation per se to play. Maybe we'll keep the animation because then we can use it. So we'll keep this as is. Loop will be none. Save file on. The path will be. I guess we can't do that actually. Leave that as is for the time being. Okay. Now, save. I don't know if we can put a scene within a scene. Looks like we can. All right. So, now that I have that, don't need the gray boxing I initially did. Now let's just make sure that everything still works. Okay, obviously that's off. So we'll just have to level out the scene itself. And then get oh god, and then get collisions going on it. Alright, so that should be relatively easy though. So what we'll do is, it can't be modified. To make changes to it, okay, so we have to create a new one. And then we have to add collision to these. I don't know if you do that individually or what have you. Is it geometry? Because these are all meshes. Meshes inherently don't have that. They don't inherently have it. Oh, well, I wonder if this will be. But then it's gonna ask for a what? A shape. Okay. Alright, well then this is going to be a little bit more work than I thought, but I think it's going to be worth it because then we already have the level sketched out, and then if anything, the game is one level. Right? We have very small period of time. I think the game jam ends on Saturday, and I can only work on it very few and far between. Itch.io? Yeah, Itch.io. Where is it? Jams. Game jam. Where's the game jam? Oh, I didn't know this one started. Oh, starts in 21 days. Okay, so cool. I can sign up for that one. If anything, we'll see. I still have to finish the game for my kid. Where is this game? Oh, Brakeys. There we go. Alright, yeah, this ends, what is it, 23rd, so Saturday at 6 a.m., so really Sunday. I really have to submit it by Sunday, there's no way, especially with my kid. Unless I pull an all-nighter, that I'll really be able to do that. So, yeah. So I think it'll be worth it, so that way at least we have a semi-polished scene to begin with. Now, I'm going to take all of these, what I'm hoping I can do, I don't know if I can. All of these, mesh, singular, and then they're all going to throw up an error because they don't have a collision shape. Oh, they need a certain thing. So this is the floor. The floor is obviously going to be a static body, so we'll add that as a child, static body. And then your respective collision shape. There you go. Now you're happy. Same thing here. Can I just... Yeah, buddy. All the floor pieces get static body. Static body, yada yada. Small floor, please, so you get the same thing. Small floor, please, you get the same thing. Oh my god, that's a lot. Dude, how many floor pieces? So many. Alright. And then add static body. You all get a static body. So you're already happy. Wait. Where's all the static bodies? Did it just add one? Like a dickhead? Static. Static. No, that doesn't work. Okay. You have a static body, you're happy. You have a static body, you're happy. Oh wait. There you go, now you're happy. You need a static body. Alright, so I'll just do it manually. It's not going to be super complicated. I was just hoping to expedite it a little bit. Oh, you know what? I'm going quickly, but let me make sure that these are correct. Turn off the mesh. The collision shape, what does the collision shape look like? Okay, where is the collision shape? Hello? But the mesh for it is over here. Let's see, this is why I wanted to check before I kept going. Because it looks like the collision shapes are relegated to one platform. This is weird. Okay, start over real quick. Okay, this needs a static body. Static body will need a mesh, or I need a collision shape. Here I am defining the collision shape. It will be a sibling, static body and child. Oh, I can do a static body and child? And fuck that, I didn't know I could do that. Collision shape, static body and, oh wait, static body and child. Boom. Awesome. Okay, that should save a shit ton of time. Let's just double check that that works, as it should. Turning off the mesh, there's that, and then I can see the collision shape, which is, I mean, barely visible, but I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. I'll test it out in a second. Where's the cam? That's really gonna be the... Holy shit, the scene takes up most of the scene tree. Jesus. Oh, this is actually, no, this is just for the individual scene. Okay. Okay, alright, we got this. We got this. No big deal. Rise to the challenge, right? Fuck. Okay. Collision, static body, and that. Oh, I have two now. I have too many. So, delete. And then you should be that. Now, where? Oh, right. So I have to finish. I should just check if that works. So, it's near the dresser. So save. And then we're gonna save over. I guess it won't let me do that. So college dorm room. Okay. So go back to our demo world. We're gonna delete this, and then we're gonna import our college dorm room. This is so unorganized. I can't. I have to do it. I simply cannot just have it be like that. Scenes. Code. Assets. I don't even have some of these yet, but I was just like, I can't. You're in scenes, you're technically considered an asset, although I could have deleted you right off the jump. Okay, that was, I feel like I can breathe in the scene now. My food should be here shortly, but I really haven't gotten much accomplished, so I'm probably gonna stick around and do this. I may just be silent while I'm no in the game dev. Oh, it's not a static body though. Oh, there's also, yeah, no, it can't be. It can't be. It just can't be a static body. Okay. I keep forgetting to advertise that I'm doing this. It's like my biggest weakness. Well, my biggest weakness is not being a good game developer, but give me 1 second here, guys. 1 second while That's completely fair. I was like, from the moment I pulled out my phone, 2 people dipped, and I'm like, that's fair. Eating while working, that's it. Yeah. There we go. Copy. Okay. Okay. Alright, where were we? So let's do... And then I believe the only bit of collision that is active currently in the scene is on the. I mean, we have a lower level to ground that'll save us, which I think is good. But yeah, it was actually near the dresser, so I'm actually in a great position to test this. So it should be, I think, over here, and then let's do F6. And okay, so obviously I'm still clipping the world and then falling to the ground itself. Oh, but then I am able to actually skate over on top of this. Oh god. Alright, so there is collision for some of this already. So there's a ground. Oh, this is the wrong one too. That wasn't the right one. This is the one I wanted to use. So let's just check if that one works. And then how much that works. Because I was adding a static body, but it looks like the... Oh, did the game crash? No, it's just super laggy. It's unbelievable lag. Okay, there we go. And then it hits the lag again. I want to know why that is. It's not a super complex scene. And there's only one plane of collision that's happening. Okay, so, alright. This is fine until we get near this. So maybe there's something with the ground over here, because now I'm frozen. Now smooth as can be, no problem. And then I think collision stops under the desk. Yeah, under the desk for some reason is the end of the world. Let's try this again, because I was doing the whole ground before unnecessarily. So I'm trying to understand. Oh wait, maybe it's not unnecessarily. Maybe it's just the ground. Okay. Well, I think an easy way to resolve that is if I just take the ground and I raise it. And where's the player? And I raise you. And then test it. The lag happens again. I don't know what's triggering that. I have no idea. But each time it just starts to freeze. And I'm not getting anything in the debugger. I have no idea why it keeps crashing. Ooh. And then you fall through the world. Yeah, I fall through the world near the desk, which I was hoping to resolve by just using the static body I had already established for the ground, like fuck the carpet that they had for it, whatever. But the lag is why I'm a bit annoyed. Wait, what the heck? What the heck is going on? Why am I confined to this? That's so weird. Maybe the engine's having an issue? Control S. Control Shift S. Oh my god, I literally can't even go to save. Well, I can't close out the scene. It literally won't let me. I don't know how I'm confined to this little thing. This is so weird. There has to be a reasonable explanation for that. Because the game is still running. Okay, so how do I end? There we go. Stop. For my future reference, that's F8 to end the project. Okay, so that defined why I was confined to that. So we're good there. Let me just retest this. Let me retest this. Damn, and again it freezes. going just fine. Oh, of course. But at least I know why that happened. Okay, so let me take the ground. Let me move the ground over. Oh, looks like I need to expand which is weird. Thought the ground took up the whole thing. I guess it didn't, doesn't. So let me just increase the scope of it. Scale, boop. There we go. Oops, nope, that's not what I'm trying to do. Control S, and then let's go back to our scene. Okay, there we go. Alright, and now we're back in the game. And I've experienced the lag again. That is the one issue I'm consistently having that may be an issue. Because I hate for... Okay, need collision on that. But we have collision everywhere else. We just need to add collision to the objects themselves. But at least that's that. Okay. And then I do have the ceiling fan still. I can't see it, but I think I do. Because that is going to be what we do. I'm thinking of a Hitman-esque style, if you've played the Hitman games before, where the player, as a can, right, the origin story starts in a dorm. I was going to have it not be properly taken care of, but it looks pretty clean for a dorm room. Maybe I'll just add trash and stuff like that. But essentially, the can of nothing is remorseful because it has now become nothing, so it's missing its use. So because it feels useless, you can take an object, throw it, and then the ultimate goal is going to be throw it to the ceiling fan. Ceiling fan falls, and then which will just be a fixed animation. Ceiling fan falls and then kills the player. Now this says innovation. This isn't the okay college dorm room. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Find some trash, throw it around. Yeah, we're gonna take trash. We're gonna throw it around so that way you're able to navigate through the level as a piece of trash. You're gonna manipulate other pieces of trash. And then why are you not on the ground? Transform, snap to ground. There we go. And then that's how because you have to position yourself to access the ceiling fan. And then as a piece of trash, you're gonna get, I don't know, it'll probably be the ball. And then once you hit the ball, it'll trigger an animation that'll fall on the college student, kill them, and then you move on to the next level, is the general idea. We'll see how far we get. And my food's here, so I will be right back. It's not going to take me long. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Again, I'm going to try to get as much as I can get done now, but I love me some garlic naan, man. Pardon me, I don't know what WB means. Maybe I'm too old? Oh, welcome back. Gotcha. I was like, is this a new slang? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I appreciate you being here while I work on this project. Which is again for the Game Jam by Brakeys. And the theme is nothing can go wrong, and I'm interpreting can as in a literal can, and the can is going to make things go wrong. And it's going to be the nothing can. Alright. Thank you. Very old slang. Oh, so I'm too young? Like, I didn't know that. WB. I think the first saw WB back in the mid-90s. Well, I was around. I was alive then. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just me having a brain fart. Maybe it's a very common and I'm just being silly. But yeah. 90s suit me actually. Yeah. Same. 90s was a good time. I was a small little idiot back then, but still a good time. I was just listening to like old school early 2000s like emo rock or punk rock. So alright, so again we need to add collisions to all this. What is this even? What is this white thing? I don't know what that white thing is. I don't know what this white thing is either. Alright, well we'll worry about that later. Oh, I see what it is. So the game freezes once I get to this ball. So once I try to collide with it, that's when the game freezes. So I think that the bot is like, best viewer, blah blah blah, spam malware. I'm like, go fuck yourself, bot. But yeah, 90s was a good time. So yeah, I'm going to have to check our test object here because that is what's causing the issue. Its collision shape is pretty not complex, but relatively simple. Let me just take off the mesh real quick. Oh, I can't take off the mesh and not turn off everything else, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Alright, but if we go inside of it, we can see it. And while it does look complex, I don't see it. Thank you, Anol, for reporting that, as always. And while it does look complex, it shouldn't be overly so. But we'll check it out, see. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Less polygons, so hopefully that works out well. My bad. My bad, guys. Thank you for saying you couldn't hear us or hear me. But yeah, this should be relatively simple. As I was saying before, and Noel, you are incredibly helpful 99% of the time, so don't worry about the 1% that you're not. Right? This is a brand new journey, and we're both learning and going through this together. So, no issue there. Again, you're helpful more than half of the time. So, we're in 3D, so we don't know what we're doing. So I'm learning with you, yeah, we're phasing right through the wall, so we need to fix that. But right now, I'm more concerned about the little ball that I have here, and the reason I'm concerned about it is because I should be pushing this around, but it's acting like a static body right now. I don't know why that is. Oh shoot, hold on. Did Twitch stop working? No. Twitch is still going according to my stream manager, but my streaming equipment says that it stopped. So I'm just gonna ignore that. So maybe you now. Hold on. Oh, you can see it here. So maybe you now know how to place the gizmo in the center model. Import Blender in Godot. Gizmo placed where the 3D cursor used to be. No. Maybe you know how to place the gizmo in the center of the model. Wait. Center of the model. I imported Blender Gizmo place. Gizmo is placed where the third 3D cursor used to be. Oh, I imported it as a FBX file. That's what I typically have done in previous 3D projects, is always FBX, at least for Godot. Maybe Unity takes in the GIB file, but I've always used FBX files. So maybe that's part of the issue. Don't worry about your typos. I am, and I think, and Noel could probably attest to this, I am one of the worst spellers known in mankind. I think I came out in a generation where I was like, oh, spell check is gonna be a thing. Fuck spelling. Like, I mean, I'm not a complete idiot, but I'm damn near. So don't worry about the typos. Don't worry about typos at all. Okay, so here we are. Still acting essentially like a straight up like pole. Like a weird, like if you would hit in like old school video games when you would crash into a trash can and you would just be like boom, and like, why is this trash can stronger than a car? That's it, like what I'm going through right now. Why is this tiny little ball more powerful than this can? But yeah, I would recommend importing it as a FBX file rather than a GIMP. That's how I learned to do it. I'm not saying one is more right than the other, that's just how I would recommend. Yeah, I grew up with, and I don't know if I would say I grew up with autocorrect, right? I'm 29, so autocorrect was in more of my life than not, right? And most of my life it existed, so yeah. I don't typo much, but my spelling and grammar are bad enough that you think this is my second language. Yeah, and no, I completely relate to that. I completely relate to that. I remember during it was when I was in college, one of the things that they one of the like college assessor mentioned, it was like, oh well, your essay was really great, especially considering this isn't your first language, because I'm Haitian. So she assumed that I was an immigrant, and I was like, yeah. I was trying to get those scholarships, baby. Like, say I'm an immigrant. Oh, this also isn't to the floor. Maybe that was part of the issue? Okay, again, it's better now, but still not 100% where we need it to be. Oh, I learned it. That's a good question. Where did I learn that? God. I want to say Brakeys, but let me just check to see if that's true. Um, if it wasn't Brakeys, I know who taught me. But they are game dev mix mo. Again, I want to say it's Brakeys. No. But here's a really good video on it. This is another great YouTuber where I learned a lot of stuff. And they primarily work in Godot, so I'll just drop this in the chat. But as far as where I learned game development overall, yeah, no problem. Where I learned game development overall is trial and error. I have been a bad game developer more than I've been a good game developer. I still wouldn't even say I'm a good game developer, but I found that, unfortunately, the only way to really learn is to do it and fail over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Unfortunately. Godot 4 has a new thing I read about dealing with auto-sticking models. Oh, to floors. I assume it was for static models. That's what I would have assumed as well. Just so items and characters don't fall to the ground when loading in. Yeah. Oh, 4.4. I'm on 4.3. Because I was like, well, if it is implemented, it's buggy. But I'm on 4.3. And that makes sense. Because so many of the time, I just have models that are like up in the air for no reason. Matter of fact, let me see if I can just do this really quick. Transform floor. That was a bad idea. Let me change that. That's not gonna work. What about scripting? That big bottleneck on the. Yeah, totally understandable. And code is still a huge bottleneck for myself as well. What I would recommend most, and I know everyone says it, and you're probably annoyed of it, as I was, is to do small projects. Like that's really it. And also, if I'm being honest, don't be afraid to steal. A lot of people will demonize you, and you know, in the hacking community, we call them script kiddies, where you take code and you just pop it into your project for your uses. But we're making games, right? And the games we don't have to worry about vulnerabilities or things like that. So just like steal code and steal intelligently. I like to write a lot of my own code just so I know how everything works. But for the sake of this game jam, I stole this code straight from Brakeys. Stole is such a aggressive term when he just has it open source available for everybody. But I took this code straight from Brakeys. What matters the most in game development to me is that you're having fun. And if scripting and coding is a huge barrier for you, I would say steal, but also work on small projects so you can learn it, because you will, for a fact, encounter this problem for the rest of your game dev career. Coding is hard, coding is critical. So you will have to get better at it, but steal and then modify. And then work on small projects where you code things yourself. That's my biggest recommendations. Oh, and Noel here is accomplished developer. He went to college for it and everything. So he has helped me even on the stream. And that has also been a huge savior, is streaming game development, because smarter people than me will come in and help. Sometimes they're rude, but most of the time they're great, like Noel. Why are you acting as a static body? Why are you acting as a static body? Maybe the gravity scale is too high. Let's reduce this and have it be 0.25. Save that. And then we're not going to disable the collision shape, obviously. So let's just run this. Again, every time it starts, like, fuck me. You son of a bitch. Sorry. That is most of game development, of like, why doesn't this work? Why doesn't this work? Why does this work? Alright, I'm gonna raise it way off the floor just to make sure that it actually does fall and that gravity is acting on this object. To test, yeah, is it stuck to the floor? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I raised it, and I think it's just stuck up in the air. Can I see it? Yep, it's literally just stuck up in the air. And then when I'm underneath it, why is the collision shape so big? Even underneath it, it like, I guess, stuck. Why is that? I don't like that at all. That's so ugly. Alright, number one, I just need to edit this. Because I keep trying to use, and let me do built-in, the letters as well, but the character creator I stole from Brakeys just utilizes the arrow keys, which it's throwing me off. And ultimately I don't want that anyway. So left is going to be A, right is going to be D, UI up and UI down really doesn't matter, so let's just do that. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. Bam. Again, why it gets, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. That works, but not, the collision shape is still off. Okay, I need to figure this out. What is all right? No physics. I assume I know. You have code for that in 2D. I assume. Yeah, and I did script it in the character. So let me just grab this really quick. Gravity. So gravity is being applied, but to get gravity, I'm pretty sure this is by default in the engine. Let me just make sure that's true. Yeah. Oh, it gets it from its source. So, that means need one for the object. Yeah, I thought, let me see here. I thought, dot. Alright, sorry. I'm getting those like verbal ticking things. So gravity should be, is it a default property within a mesh? That doesn't make sense. Why would it be a default property within a mesh? But I'm just gonna double check that anyway. Gravity, I knew it wouldn't be. I don't even know why I checked it. Honestly. Alright, and gravity's here and mass is here. And gravity scale is, alright, let's set it to a stupid thing, like 5. Okay, you're still fucking up in the air with a gravity of 5? Oh, but the code only applies to the player. It does not apply to, well, I don't need to code it for an individual object, do I? That sounds crazy. Let me look up gravity. Gravity scale, how does gravity scale work? Multiplies, blah, blah, project settings, blah, blah, rigid body. Yeah, to produce rigid body 3D. Yeah. So, example, double the gravity, half the gravity. Yeah. So, why don't you go into the ground, man? Gravity scale set to 5. Is mass, I think mass would only play a factor if we're trying to move an object. Make the gravity GD, hold on. Make gravity GD and add to any object. Yeah, I could do that, but I don't think I need to. I could add a script and just boop, write it on, but I don't think I need to do that. Do I? Because literally it says gravity scale is supposed to be for this. Because that just seems tedious, and I think I'm error prone as well. But I don't know. Yeah, regarding coding, I really think that end null will guide you properly. Again, I learned through trial and error, and there's also a great course on CS50 from Harvard. Such a great course. It taught me really a lot of the fundamentals, but whatever end null says, I'm gonna just blank check to whatever end null says. I trust him. Yeah, I'm not sure if you need to either. I cheat and find the demo how they had it. Yeah, I fucking and that is fine and valid, but I'm just like, I guess I shouldn't bang my head against the wall. I should just solve it as you said. Like, how are people using it, and just go from there. But gravity scale. You apply gravity. I shouldn't need to code anything more than that. It's already coded in there. Constant, I guess I could add a constant force on the y-axis that acts as gravity, but why? And I don't have any lock on anything, right? Collision, no. Disabled. Defines behavior physics, no. Keep active. I don't know if that's it, I really don't. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Again, CS50 is not for everybody. And I also quit out of it eventually. But it did teach me a good amount. Shamefully, I must admit that even the very first time more hard. And dude, don't shame yourself for don't shame yourself for it being hard. That's the equivalent of like lifting like a 50-pound dumbbell and be like, oh, this is so hard, and you shame yourself. Like, no, you got to train up to it. That's totally fine. That's the benefit. Like Ed Knoll went to college for coding, and the benefit of that is that you have a community that you can ask questions and talk things out with and suck together, right? But I'm sure you're comparing yourself to like skilled developers, which is or like, you know, he just went over this. Why don't I get it? Because it's hard. It's not easy. So yeah, don't shame yourself, man. Like, that's completely normal and natural. You gotta suck to be good. What did Jake the dog say? Sucking at something is the first step of being really good at something. I think that's it. Yeah, man. Yeah. I as a person that is notoriously hard on themselves, and spent, I don't know how old you are, but I spent like 20 years being super hard, 25, 26, 27, like over 2 decades being really hard on myself. It's not worth the effort. It is essentially a middleman between progress. You take that out, you just treat yourself with kindness through your education, you'll be fine. You won't be super fast, unfortunately, but hey, you know, there's nothing wrong with being slower. We all can't be end null, right? 7 billion humans. That sounds really interesting. I'm just gonna look that up really quick because I'm like, maybe I could learn something from 7 billion humans. Never heard of that before. It's on Steam. It's relatively affordable. Oh, I have heard about this before. I have heard of this before. And I maybe should play this. I maybe should play this for the sake of getting my coding skills up. So I appreciate the recommendation. I'm going to add this to my cart. Yeah, because I know they go over really good concepts that actually, I think we've touched on during this, not this stream, but previous streams. And Noel has pointed out certain basic programming principles, like, is it already a property within whatever you're working in? Like, hey, do you know that code works linearly? So if you have it at the end, it's not going to process until this point. Like, certain things like that. But it looks like a really fun way to go about learning it. So thank you for the recommendation, Endel. Yeah, like if you see here, So it's going through the order of it. Obviously, this is a more complex. This isn't going to be your first level, but yeah. And it does it in like this node fashion of like if and then giving you all that. So it teaches you programming just in a fun way. So I heavily recommend checking it out. I will put the link in the chat. If it went. Oh, okay. It did not go because my stream thing is broken. So let me just open myself up in Twitch real quick. Put this off screen. Let me put this on here. Put that in there. Oh, and Noel got it. Perfect. Thank you. And Noel is always on top of it. When I grow up, I want to be N Noel. A geeky wife, good paying job, get free keyboards. All that jazz. I'm following N Noel's advice, as I think you should. Baba Is You, I've heard great things about. I have not played it, but it looks super cool. So I'm following N Noel's advice. I'm trying to find a project that uses of course, this whole project doesn't use a rigid body, does it? Of course it doesn't. Why would it? Why would it? Why would it? The car isn't a rigid body? Oh no, it would be a character body 2D, right? Let me see here. Okay, so but the whole thing can't be a character body. It has to be the back of the freight train, or freight train. The back of the truck has to be. Back of the truck has to be a rigid body. And if that's the case, then we can just take that same technique or however they're using it and then go there, but I just don't. Here's the meshes, car base. Okay. Bitch. Oh, this is just modeled, right? No? Wait. That doesn't make sense. What the fuck? Oh, okay, because I had it like that. Sorry. Collision shape, but not a rigid body. And I'm guessing that what holds it together is... Oh, what the fuck is this? There's a vehicle body 3D? That's a literal node in engine? That's so crazy. That's so crazy. And I mean, in the best way. I just didn't think this isn't gonna work for our purposes. I'm gonna head it back to the drawing board because I feel like I'm gonna just import another project. It's not gonna work. And then we're gonna be in a whole fucking loop that we don't need to be in. Bitch, what the fuck? Can't run project. Project has no main. Please edit the project, and I determined the end. Did I not? Whatever. We'll define it now. That was a little cumbersome, but we'll define it now. I think here, and then it's gonna ask for it, and then we'll select the current. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we just have to add collision and oh right, sorry. I went so roundabout that I forgot the original issue of the floating ball. Yeah, we gotta fix it. No way around that. I keep forgetting that I mute myself when I'm eating. Maybe I'll just eat. But yeah, thank you so much for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. You're on the beginning of your journey, and Noel has been immensely valuable to me. The game dev community in general has been immensely valuable to me. One of my buddies, and that's something I recommend, which is obviously hard to do as an introvert, is to get other game developers that suck as much as you. And that can be hard, but there's plenty out there. I'm one of them. But yeah, get a good game dev community of people who suck around you. Poached Nation. Where are you? I know. Game dev. Poached. God, I can't remember his name now. Damn it. Alright, well, anyway. All that to say, hey, okay, just making sure that the thing was going. All that to say that get people that suck around you and work with them, because people that also suck aren't gonna be mean or rude about it. Like, I'm doing it on Twitch, and sometimes I'll get rude or, nasty people, but most of the time it's individuals like Ed Noel who are just amazingly helpful and way more knowledgeable than you that can help you learn all this stuff. That's one of the biggest game jams, and not doing it on your own is the two biggest advice I wish I would have listened to in the beginning of game dev. I wish I would have done more game jams, and I wish I would have found people that suck as much as I do, and so that way we can work on it together. I did have one buddy, but he like skyrocketed in, not success, but like he's an accomplished developer, and his games reflect that. Unfortunately, I can't shout him out because I don't remember what his name is. At least not on socials. Let me see if I can find him here. Poached. It is Potion Nation. I don't know why I can't find it. Let me see. So what do we need to do here? We need to... Oh, okay, because his YouTube channel is different. So I'm just gonna drop my buddy's YouTube channel in the chat real quick. Check him out. Again, we started off at relatively the same level. He was still always better than me, but relatively the same level, and he skyrocketed as far as development ability. It's really admirable. Let me put him in there. 911 followers. That's awesome. Congratulations, Poach. Or Tom. I don't know what you go by now. Oh, and he recently... Did I watch this already? I did. Okay. He recently came out with a video. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. This just goes to show, if you put your mind to it, what you can accomplish. And again, I am a self-proclaimed dummy. It's very... Game dev is always hard for me, especially the coding part. So... I relate to that heavily, but, fight for what you love, right? Okay, so we're redoing the ball. We have a rigid body as the ball. We have a mesh. We have a collider. All of that is good, but it's still kind of sticking to the ground as we go. Let me make sure that that is still indeed correct. Yep, there's the ball. But it can't be pushed around for some stupid reason. It's a rigid body. Oh, you know what? Though, maybe I need to decrease the mass. Maybe I need to decrease the mass or the gravity of the object. So maybe that makes sense. So let's decrease the gravity by half, so we'll make that 0.5. And then the mass will also make 0.5. Hopefully it doesn't just float off into the ether, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, I keep forgetting I need to map this correctly. Nope. Still being stupid. Why? Why? Every game dev problem is relatively simple. So, what is the simple thing that I'm missing? What is the simple thing that I'm missing? This is a ball that is a rigid body. It does respond to gravity correctly. Is locking of these two giving the issue? Shit, no. That's not it either. Yeah, the idea of learning through a game is also appealing to me, I'm not gonna lie. So, a really good recommendation by Endel. I think that is, I mean, ultimately the best way to learn, right? Like, kids learn the best, like I have a child, and they learn the best not when it's a stressful, intense, hard environment, but when there's an element of fun and discovery in it. That's why you can learn a video game and, like, difficult boss fights in Elden Ring or Dark Souls, but, you know, hankering down to try to figure out good coding principles is really hard, because there isn't that same level of lack of pressure or just release. Because at least I would classify myself as like stupid for not getting it as quickly as others, which is never the case. Yeah, blueprints are completely practical. I think Godot also has a visual coding style as well. But yeah, I want to say. Give me 1 second. Boxing game dev. I forgot his name. Yeah. This Pony Pants, who is an accomplished game developer, they released their game. I think it was handled well. Unreal Engine. They didn't code the vast majority of their game, which again is pretty great. I have not played it. I'll be transparent in that. But everything I saw about it is pretty great, and I think it sold really well on Steam too. Let me check real quick. Pony Pants. There's the Steam link. Oh, no. Where's your other game? Let me go to Pony Pants. There it is. Punch a Bunch. Mostly positive. 872 reviews. And he mainly did no coding. It was primarily the blueprints, which does follow, programming logic. So heavily recommend. Do whatever fits best for you. Again, I am still not a very good developer, so I thought the blueprints and the visual coding would be good for me, but it ended up not being. I just didn't like it. But maybe it'll work best for you. Again, he made a whole game and sold a whole game primarily using visual coding and visual scripting via the blueprints from Unreal. And again, I'm pretty sure Godot has an equivalent somewhere. Yeah, logic is the main bit of it, right? Which, I mean, I think programming teaches better than visual coding, but you'll still get it. You'll still get the feedback of it. We can't disable collision. Oh, I took the lock off. Did the lock resolve it? Let's see. Let's see if the lock resolved it. Nope. Now, second question is, does the character have enough mass to be pushing things around? Is mass also the thing that determines that? Let me see. Not the collision. Oh, maybe it's a character? Yeah, no, we're fine there. I need not collision. Where are you? Maybe the character body doesn't have it. Let me see. Looked like it was moving. It is moving. It is for sure moving. But it moving is largely from the gravity. Like I had it up high and then it dropped. So that's just largely, at least I believe, just gravity doing it. But, you know, me trying to move it, fucking nothing. Can't move, can't budge a freaking inch. I just slide right past it. Yeah, can't move it an inch. So, I'm sure it's something simple. I'm sure it's something simple. It always is with game development. It always is something simple that you're missing. So I'm gonna just be stupid and just decrease the mass tremendously. That being said, I don't know if it's gonna fall at the. Well, no, it's gravity. Gravity. You still fall at the same rate. It just should be more pushable. Okay. Also, the can to ball ratio is off. But either way, I'm not able to push it. There is a simple explanation for this that I'm missing. There's a simple explanation for this that I'm missing. And now, I'm not going to bang my head against the wall and try to solve this. I'm just going to use... Who do I want to use? I like Copilot because Copilot actually cites its sources. So let's just use Copilot real quick. Rigid body in rigid body 3D in Godot, not reacting to forces applied to it, kinda like a static body. Why would this be? Is it locked on any of the accesses? No. I'm gonna make sure. But no. Because I didn't deliberately do it, and that would be a stupid default to just have it locked on a particular axis. There we go. I was like, where the hell is this? Not locked. Is the game paused? No. Check any configuration forces. Sometimes. No. Mass and damping ensure that the mass of the... Yep, and I did reduce the mass tremendously, right? Pretty sure I did. Yes, I did. And I'm not overriding the physics. So none of that is the reason why does not work. There is a different reason that I cannot determine. At least not yet. I don't know why. Tell me why. Why? What if it's none of those? Collision layer. Verify that the rigid body mode is set to rigid and not static. I didn't even know that was a thing. But this is the very first time that we're venturing into... Why is there no music? This is the very first time we're venturing into 3D, so it makes sense that I'm gonna uncover a bunch of shit I don't know. course, my chat is not updating, but I know that the chat is happening. So let me just open it up on this separate scene. Looked like it was moving. I read that. Oh, I go over for ChatGPT also. Often I just want a smart search engine, not something attempted to write something for me. Now, I don't think AI is largely there yet. Every time I've tried to use AI to code something for me, it is genuinely an idiot. It's like, what? But why? Why would you do that? Sometimes it does something where I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty clever. I didn't think about that. But most of the time, it doesn't know what the fuck it's talking about. It's like trying to paint in a dark room. It's the best way I could describe it. Which I know, Barak, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Barak, I believe you had utilized, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I'm mixing you up with somebody, but I believe you utilized it to write code, and then you firsthand saw the problems with that, because it doesn't happen exactly the way you want it to. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So, yeah, exactly as Noel said, I primarily use it to just be like, but I'll ask it a question, and I like it that it cite its sources, so then I can like, okay, well, let me look at the, wait, it did cite its sources, where the hell? Alright, normally it does, I don't know where, oh, there it is, right here. But yeah, let's just check, rigid body collision layer, I don't think it's that, 99% sure it's not that. Because we didn't make that custom. Can sleep. What the fuck is can sleep? If true, body can enter sleep mode if there's no movement. I'm gonna turn that off because I don't know. Lock rotation, we're not doing that. Freeze, we're not doing that. Freeze mode static. Why? I'm pretty sure that was it. And I'm so mad. I'm so mad at that. I'm pretty sure that was it and I'm so mad. There's the ball. Here's us. Oh, that wasn't it. Okay. Because honestly, in my heart of hearts, I was like, well, why isn't it automatically kinematic? Why is it static off the jump? But that was not the solution. This is such a simple thing that is annoying me that it's taking us this long to solve it. It really is. It's also bad about giving you information from the wrong version of the language. Godot is a good example. It often gives you... Yeah, exactly. Because Godot 3 existed for way longer than Godot 4 has. Alright, good night, man. Thanks you for stopping by. Thank you for following. And then, feel free. And then whenever you're streaming, I'll be sure to pop in. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. So cool. Where were we? Freeze mode kinematic. That makes sense to me. Let me make sure that I'm interpreting it correctly. Or an animatable body 3D. Okay, so it should be static actually. Static body 3D. For a body that's always frozen, okay, always frozen. No. It's not always frozen. It's not always frozen, and we're not applying a constant force. So why would this be? Oh, well, let me check the collision mask again. Oh boy, guys. It's that time. It's that time. It's the puppy time. It's the puppy time. Oh, it's the puppy time. It's the puppy. It's the puppy who wants attention. It's my puppy who wants attention. Yes, my baby boy. Oh, yes. He's a beautiful boy. He is. He's a beautiful boy. Yo, boy. He's so handsome. He's so handsome. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Oh, he's a handsome boy. Oh, no. It's a handsome boy. No. He's a handsome boy. who wants attention. He's like, Papa, you've been sitting at the computer for hours. Papa. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I know I have been sitting at the computer for hours. Can you wait a little bit, my boy? Solver continuous. If true, continuous collision detecting is. Why wouldn't it? All right, I'm done questioning. And no, to the point we were talking about before, there's so much more that you need to think about that's just a given in 2D. Why is continuous collision detection not on by default? That makes sense to me. On default, it should always be on, and then if you experience problems with performance, at that point, then you should turn it off yourself, like an adult. But this thing is... Nope. Again, it's moving, but that's not me. Damn it. This is such a simple thing. That's what is really bugging me about this. Disabled mode removed. Define behavior physics node. Node. Keep active? Pardon this, like, what the hell is it called? Trial and error methodology way that I'm going about this. Why is it like that? What the hell is happening? Okay. I don't know what happened there. Something. That was buggy as hell. We were stuck on the floor for a second. Still can't move the ball. But we need to be able to suck in the object and shoot it by the end of this stream. That's been the goal. But for whatever reason, I can't even physically interact with an object, which is so weird. That's not what we need. Collision mask is the same. That's 1-1. And then the player is also on 1-1. 1-1, yep. What could this be? What could this be? It's simple. I'm gonna think like end null and say it's a simple solution and it's obvious. Meaning we just need to start from scratch? No, we already did that. What's the simple solution to this? What's the simple solution to this? It falls and it rolls, so it's physics and collision works just fine. What is the central problem? The central problem is it does not react to other physical forces aside from the collision to the ground. Why is that? Oh. Number one. Number two. I think the two grounds were conflicting with each other. Nope, that's not it. Damn it. I really thought that was it. I really thought that was it. I were in null, I would think about what exactly is the problem. The fall, so gravity is working on it, collision detection is working on it, and yeah, physics is working on it. But after a certain point, it's not able to react to any input. So are we sure that the player and the ball are on the same level of collision? That they can touch each other, obviously. That's what's stopping me. What is the issue? It has to be simple. I'm gonna risk it and start afresh. I'm gonna start with the rigid body being the main thing, and then the mass and everything is set by default. There is no axis lock. At least to see how someone else does it. Yeah, no, and I did that, but then I pulled up one or two examples where they weren't even using a rigid body. So let me see if the documentation references this. Maybe in the physics intro? Are you gonna actually show the engine? Okay, first of all, your rigid body, using rigid body 2D. No. Okay, so no to you. And then let me pull up physics test. Let's try that. Let's try that and see. What were they using? Oh, they were using a, what were they using? God, I don't remember now. It was, not a rigid body. It was, God damn it. Body. Vehicle body, 3D. That's what they were using. Because I was astonished that there is a literal node that they created just for vehicles. So that's what they were using before. But we'll see. Your suggestion is a good one. Always refer to documentation. Always refer to see what somebody has done that's similar to what you've done or what you're trying to do. Both make complete sense, man. And at this point, I just need to solve this problem. So I'm more than happy to just steal, quote unquote. Let's see. Let's run this, shall we? Let's see if this works, shall we? I don't know if it's gonna let me run it like that. No, it's not. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Now that that is there, save. Save all scenes, project exit. I hear you, doggo. Yeah, I think he was drinking water. And he also, I don't know if he needs to WALK. I'm not gonna say the word because he's gonna start barking at me if I say it. Regardless if he needs to GO or not, he'll take any opportunity to go outside. When I first got him, I was super outdoorsy. But then I stopped because shortly after him I had a kid. So, but yeah, he may need to go in a moment. If that's the case, then we'll raid somebody else, but hopefully, oh shoot, I just redid what I was trying not to do. Sorry. Oops. Okay. So we're gonna import, we're gonna take where's our downloads file? Oh, why isn't it? No? What's the path to this then? It's gonna take the path? I don't know if it is. I'm just gonna take this straight up down. Where is it? There should be a button for this. Copy path, okay. Excuse me, the fuck? What is going on? Excuse me, the fuck? Alright, let's do that. Because this is being weird. What's the name of it again? Oh, did I unzip it? Yes, 3D physics test. Physics test, there it is. Cool. Import. Yes. Alright, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let's just run. Oh, well, actually, no, let's not run this because we just need to basically. Where's the main scene? This is the main scene? What the hell? Alright, so test. Static scene. This is not what we need. Okay, so maybe this one? I can't tell because this is... Oh, okay, this is just the Godot head that they made. And part of the head is... Oh, no. I am confusion. Test. Shapes. See, that all works correctly. That one in particular. So let's see if we can get that circle. U. So when it has no mesh, not that that really should matter, but it has a collision shape that has a spear, it has a rigid body, it has a mass of 1, a gravity scale of 1, it has can sleep on, it has freeze on. Why would freeze be on? If true, body is frozen, gravity force not applied. Okay, so I'm guessing the moment the scene starts, freeze is turned off, because otherwise how would it fall? Set zone static. Collision mask is the same, there is no... Everything looks exactly how I have it in the project. I don't see any real difference other than can sleeping on and freeze being on. That's the only difference I see. So I'm gonna just assume that was the make or break. Because that's the only thing I see that's different. And the moment we have this run, it falls as it should. Let me run this one more time. We start with R, toggle collision with C, R and C, okay. And we're not doing a performance test, we just want to see shapes. All of them should be responding the exact same, but just for the sake of the example, for the circle, or the spear, is the main thing that we're focusing on. A mass of 1, a gravity scale of 1, no changes in the mass distribution, can sleep is on, freeze is on. Freeze modus is static. That's the only differences I see. It's acting exactly the same otherwise. So let's go back, let's give it a try. I've been working on my asteroid clone on the other screen. I've cheated and used a sprite, that I'll later replace with something code generated, either using a draw method, or maybe a polygon 2D. So far, the ship just moves around, and that's it. Got screen warp working. Okay, well that's good. By screen warp, is that a shader that you're applying for the screen warp? And yes, you are cheating, obviously, with the the using a sprite versus programmatically getting it generated in there. But I won't tell. No, the ship wraps around the other. Oh, wraps around the other side. Gotcha. Yeah. And I'm guessing, just as just game dev to game dev, out of curiosity, I'm guessing you have it where there's like a point or a collision or an area on the off screen, so the moment that they touch that area, they teleport to this section. I'm guessing is that how you did it? Just out of curiosity. Everything does in-game shots, asteroids. Gotcha. Okay. Let's go back to this. So here we are, and I'm not gonna add a mesh. I'm just gonna add a fucking collision shape, just for shits and giggles. And then they could have the collision shape be a circle, and I'm gonna make sure that I can see. How do I do that? I know there's a setting for that. Yes, view, grid, view origin, gizmo. Maybe I'll still be able to see it. Let me see. Okay, so there is that, and there I am, and save and run. Oh, I was hoping it would be visible. I know I have to toggle a setting to make it visible in scene. I just don't remember what that is. Gizmo. Yeah, all of them are visible. All of them should be completely visible. I don't know why it's not. No, that's not what I need. No, actually, I checked the screen size, viewport, check rec, and then. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, that's also obviously another way to do it. I wouldn't have thought about utilizing, actually like, hey, look at this scene. If they go off, boom, then teleport. If node global object is Y position is less than 0, then set the node position back to the node global positions Y. Set that equal to the screen size Y. Okay, gotcha. Far left would be 0. Gotcha. Okay. Again, one of the beauties of game dev is like you can solve a problem in like 10,000 different ways, which is also part of the frustration of game dev, is that you can solve it 10,000 different ways. But that's cool. I can't wait to see and support your project, because I know I'm not able to help out with support with the Final Fantasy inventory management thing, but I just want to be able to support something that you created and made. Given that you've been such a help to me, this has the up point of working even if I change the size. Oh yeah, that is flexible code right there. That's thinking long term. I didn't even think about that angle. I was just like, oh yeah, that's another way to solve it. It's like, yeah, but and now you can change it to your heart's content, and it's always going to work the way you want it to. Rather than my methodology, which was creating two area. I would have used the area point 2D on the edges of the screen. Then if you change the screen size, you would have to change the area 2D. Unless, I guess there's a way around that, but either way. It's one of my favorite things to ask other developers is like, they'll mention something and I'm like, okay, but how did you do it? Because that's the really interesting part. At least for me, as a bad game developer, I love hearing about how did you solve it, because there's so many different ways. But the way you're doing it is far more flexible. I love that. Okay, so let's just add a mesh to it. Why not? You know. Make sure that the mesh is not disproportionate to the actual collision shape. Slightly under, just so we can see it. This bitch is just in the fucking air, huh? Son of a bitch, dude. It's a static fucking body when you should be moving. Alright, there has to be a simple solution to this. Let me be more specific to AI. When attempting to push this rigid body with my character body, it does not move even a little. What would it's for sure not locked on an axis. There was one other thing I did not edit when I checked this. Can sleep, freezing. Oh no, freezing was on, but that was only for that. And then this was static rather than kinematic, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure just yet. Am I going through it? Can't tell. No, I'm not going through it. There's likely a better way, just the first semi-good way I could think of. First, all I know and the already are property somewhere to do this. But I already spent some time Googling it just to figure out to check the screen size. Yeah. Which is a great methodology, truly. What is different about you? What makes you different to not move? This is crazy. I've been on this problem for like 30 minutes now. That's so weird. This should be so... I've done this before. That's also the part that's bugging me, is I've done literally this before. But for whatever reason, this time doing it around, it's just not working the way it... It's so simple. Truly, so simple. Not locked linearly. It's a rigid body, so it should operate. Hold on. Move, yeah. Okay, alright. Well, let's see what it said. yeah, we can manually apply a force, but we shouldn't need to, and that kind of takes away from the physics of it all. Like it's supposed to have a Hitman like funny physics portion to it, and it's not going to have that if we can fudge its influence. I'm pretty sure I'm using move and slide for the collision, but that's a good point. I'm 90% sure I am. Move, and oh, move and collide. Oh no, also using move and slide to actually move. What is move and collide for? Okay, yeah, but we don't need to worry about that. When it comes to that, we are just using move and slide. Interesting. This has to be... Okay, I'm gonna pivot and go to a different problem. I'm gonna snap this to the floor. I'm gonna run the game just so I can get my head on straight with this. Is this not on the floor? Oh, no, it is. Okay, I just wasn't on the floor. Okay. Sorry, this looks weird, so I'm just gonna adjust that because that's gonna bug me out. Okay. So we're just gonna work on the suck mechanic since I can't get this to work, but at least I can get the suck to work. So let's go back into the code for the player. Let's see, how do where is this? This is all in the physics function, which I get ultimately will put the pull because that is based on physics in there. But, so we'll just write a function. We'll call this, I don't want to call it suck. Pull object, pull objects. And as always with, I wish, I forgot his name now, but I wish he was here for the chat because I could show how I usually solve code, which is just write it in layman's term first. So when player pull presses, and let me make sure I don't have spacebar mapped to a button yet. I don't think I do. I do. It's, of course, to that. So I'll use Q, because I feel like that's pretty standard as far as RGBQ. Or sorry, not RGB. Sorry. Pretty standard as far as, what the hell is it called? Buttons on games are considered. It's like E and Q, so I'm just gonna use Q. Presses Q, they pull non-static body toward them. And then in layman's, or in code, in semicode, that's going to be if inputs that get, or not get access, if input that, what is it, action press is, and we don't have one identified for this, so we'll just quickly identify that. Project settings, input map, we'll create a new one called pull, and in pull we're just gonna map Q. Nope, that's one. We're looking for Q. Okay. Now the pull. So if we pull, then, and then what do I say? Then we pull non-static objects toward it. So how are we going to determine range? How are we going to determine direction? It should be whatever you're facing. That makes the most logical sense. So really quick, I'm just going to pass this so that red line goes away. What? Input, action press, pull. Cannot, because it returns a void. Okay, so is action pressed, I think. Is action pressed pull. Oh, pull. There we go. Okay. Now that we got that, we're going to determine, we have to determine facing, because I was like, oh, it's going to pull objects, but it's like, how is it going to pull it? In what direction? How does it determine what it's sucking in? So, we need to go to the player. Are you on the ground? Why aren't you on the ground? That's weird. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, we need to add, would it be a pointer? No, it would be, because it's like, which means there's a space in front of me that's determining what I'm sucking in, and that is an area, I think. Area. Yeah. I can't even see this. How am I supposed to determine? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? I can't. It's the tiniest little thing. How am I supposed to? Okay, I probably just have to scale it. Oh, I guess ultimately that doesn't matter. That is so tiny because it's going to be the collision shape attached to it. That really matters. That makes sense. Collision. Ooh, which is like a cone. Do we have a cone as an option? Box, capsule, cylinder. No. Ray shape, but okay, not gonna use that. Let's just use. We might as well just use a cylinder. Okay. And then let's scale you up. Let's scale you up with a little R and R action. And then, yep. And then, yep. And then here. And I think that's pretty good. I don't know how to. What would be beneficial is being able to view. Because gizmo, and this is collision shape, so we should be able to see it. Open eye gizmo is visible. Hidden. Half open gizmo is also visible in through for surfaces. I don't think that's what we need, but I'm just gonna make it a half eye just in case that is what we need. Half eye. Half eye. I don't think that's what we need. I want to be able to see it in while we run the project. No, unfortunately. That's fine. What we're gonna do. Why is the collision shape an issue? Make sure it scales uniformly. Fine. Where's the scale? Scale. We're primarily concerned with the x-axis. Why did the music stop playing? We're primarily concerned with the x-axis, so that would be, well, we're at 1, 2, 3, so might as well just keep it 1, 2, 3, and then it should. It's not gonna. Revert. 1, 2, 3. Uniformly, is it? What's the issue with it not being uniform? Should have read that first. Yeah, R. I don't know why it was being weird. Anyway. Make sure to scale on the same on all sides. and change the size of the shape resource instead. Better why? Better why though? Is it gonna cause issues? Maybe it will. So, scale, revert, and then okay. Alright, and then we're gonna add a signal to the area 2D. It's gonna be when, essentially it's gonna be rigid bodies only. So let's see, it's not when an area comes into play, when a shape comes into play. I'm pretty sure a shape is gonna be right. Body entered. Emitted when a body enters the can be a physics body or grid. We just care about physics bodies, so it's gonna be this for the body yada yada. Okay. And then once we get something in this area, for right now, just to make sure that it's working, I'm gonna say in pull zone. You can detect collision in code by applying. You can detect the collision in code and apply movement to it. You can detect collision in code and apply movement to it. Oh yeah. I don't know if I believe what you're referring to is the ball problem. If that is the case, yes, I did talk about that very quickly earlier. Where yes, we could. Hold on, let me just do this real quick. Why are you being a butt? There we go. Nope, being a butt. There we go. Where we could fudge. It by like, here I'm detecting collision, therefore apply a force. We could do that, but I wanted it to be more, I don't know, systematic, if you will. Like, it should just do it based off of the physics applied, rather than fudging the physics and like being like, hey, you should apply this amount of force. That should all be determined by the speed of the player, the mass of the player, and things like that. I wanted it to be more of a physical, physics-based movement and action and all that stuff. But I think that's what you're referring to. Let me know if I'm off or on base here. Debugger says what? Node not found collider. Tell me that was the fucking issue this whole time. Don't you fucking tell me that was the issue the whole time. I swear to God. Take you out of here. Where's the actual collider? No, that wasn't the issue. Okay, but we did apply the code to... Oh, well, I wasn't... And this isn't in anything. And there's 2 passes, so... Oh, wait. No. Right? Where did I put this? Now I'm confused of where I put this. Print? There it is, at the very end. So, if an area enter... Oh, wait. Area... Yeah, a shape... Oh. Hold on, I gotta look at the code for this. Cause now I'm pretty sure that that's the issue. Oh shit, it's late. Alright, I gotta, I have to walk my puppy. Let's give me a second, guys, here while I get situated. But we'll work more on this for sure next time. We'll work on the what the fuck am I saying? Sorry, my brain's going blank. Next time we'll work on the. That's not it. Sorry. The next time we're gonna work on more of the pull action. For whatever reason, again, having that issue where it's not pulling, or not, it's not registering the physics ultimately, and I may just again do what Noel had suggested and apply the physics in the code. I can do that. I absolutely can do that. The reason I didn't want to do it again is just to be a bit more systematic about how the physics are applied. So that's why I didn't want to do that, but I may have to ultimately end up doing that. But we'll see next time for sure. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Endo. Well, we'll see you next time for sure. Thanks, you guys, for stopping by, and say hi to my buddy for me.